Hey, what's up everybody? It's John Jack with Crippled Fox Gaming, and I'm doing a little paint tutorial. I've really gotten into Rumbleslam lately, and I'm going to do this quick tutorial on how I'm going to paint Peyote Pete. He's one of the MVP kind of guys for this game. He's a special character you can buy. And also, I did not notice at the time, but if you notice the pose on this guy, and then you also notice the pose on the Cactuar from Final Fantasy. Coincidence? Probably not, because the guys who make Rumbleslam are really kind of clever when they do stuff like that. So I'm going to do this. It's going to be really quick. I've got my Reaper paints, which I use all the time. If I don't, it's the... I've got some scale color for metallics. There's no metallics on this guy. He's a cactus with a flannel shirt and a little bit of a beard, and there is a spot on here I might do later with a little, I might try printing off a little wanted poster. That's kind of what they've got on there. They've got this on here. It's got a little wanted, hugs please, because he's a cactus. It's hilarious, right? Right. So I am going to do kind of base colors, and I prime in white, because I am a lazy painter. And so I am going to do a base, kind of probably a darker green. Got to find some kind of cactusy green, and then I probably will just dry brush over the top of this guy. I've seen him in flannel shirts. The card here has him in kind of a yellow with brown striped flannel. I'm thinking maybe like a rust color flannel. Let's give this, I think that might be a little too dark. I'm going to go with a green. And again, this is one of the old HD colors that I got when Reaper Minis first started doing Kickstarters, and they offered a really good deal on their HD paint, their new paint line, which I have loved ever since. I mean, I liked them before because they had the triads, the color triads and stuff like that. You had your base color, the shadow for the base color, and then the highlights for that color. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I gotta get my cheaters on here because I'm a man of a certain age who likes to paint things that are much too small to see. I gotta make sure I got that right in the center. I got a little cheat dot here. I'm gonna go with, I don't use a wet palette, but I've got a palette on which I keep my paint wet. It's not a standard wet palette, and I am just literally going to just kind of go over this guy with this HD paint. It's not a contrast paint. It is just a paint that I kind of use a modified shaded, it's Jim Wapple is a shaded base coat technique. And if you look at it right there, it's already 90% done, because the white primer makes its own highlights. And so I kind of like that, because I don't like, I mean, I like getting it, you know, first draft, last draft, get it out the door kind of thing. And I'm going to go ahead and do this stuff. I haven't figured out how to talk over my painting and, you know, filming it in like hyperlapse or whatever like that. So you get to hear me kind of ramble on about this. I really am liking Rumbleslam. We're doing a lot of videos on the YouTube channel here, as you've probably seen. And if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Go over there and watch them. They're super fun, and I, like always, am terrible at these games. So you can see what a gracious loser I am. And that's I like playing these games. I'm not good at winning them. I'll take sportsmanship, though. If that gets me a prize, you know what? That's just as good, because I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Catastrophic failure is as fun as catastrophic success. Yeah, that's probably not the right word for that. So I've got no background music. I should probably put some over this, I bet. I'll look at it when I plug this on the, put this up, when I post this. I'm going to try to do some more paint tutorials, because I need to get stuff painted, quite frankly. And I like doing these. I'll probably do like the MVPs, because some of the there is if you haven't seen Rumbleslam, this is the one I'm going to be working on this week. Just in time for Dia de los Muertos. It's the Kalaka Kabbalah. But they are all unbelievably detailed sculpts. And I can't say enough good things about this company. I mean, this is a one-piece resin model. It's amazing. This is one of the dancers. But before I get off on track, I'll keep painting this. And what I might do is I'll probably pause as I wait for this to dry before I do the dry brush over the top of this, which might not need a whole lot because he's kind of a cartoony figure that I think is that kind of fits in with this the MVPs for this casino are all really super fun, and there's a guy called El Mecánico, and he is huge, and he is orange. So I'll probably be doing this one. There's also the Pipinyama. It's a piñata llama that, as he gets beat up, he drops candy, and your guys get to pick it up and regain their stamina. I've got to look at those a little more. I might be incorrect as far as that goes, but they're all, this whole line is, they've really done a good job. I like TTCombat a lot. I first got into Rumbleslam years ago, and I got a whole bunch of it, and as is usual, I'm sure none of you other painters out there can relate to this. Got a little bit off more than I can chew, so I have waited a long time to paint these, and I've found someone who has who is interested in doing some of these games that I do now, and she is the co-host to most of my other videos, Ellie. Shout out to her, and being not the most gracious winner, but she is consistently the winner in a lot of these videos, as you'll see. I'm not, like I said, I'm not competitive, but I do enjoy a good oxytocin dose up from dice rolls and stuff like that. It's an anticipation, I think, that makes it the most fun for dice games. And I will get this base coat on here, and then I will let it dry. I've got a little fan over here. I will apply that, and then I'll put a base coat probably on the shirt next, and then maybe on his little armbands. And his jeans, I'm just going to paint them. They have, there's an ashen blue and I think it's called a heather blue that is just perfect for a kind of, denim-y, kind of worn look on this. And I think that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be, like I said, this is going to be really quick. I'll check the time here in a minute, but I'm going to get this all base coated, and then I will do that. I'll let it dry a little bit. I've got a nice kaiju movie playing in the background, if you can hear it or not. I think I have it turned down low enough, but maybe I'll find some music to just put underneath this, because I'm still gradually learning how to do this YouTube thing. I've been doing it for a while, but I don't do it enough to really learn a whole lot, I guess you could say. And I approach it the way I do everything else. I'm casual in all my pursuits. I'm not really too serious. It's nice. We're approaching 100 viewers, and so maybe, or 100 subscribers, and maybe after the 100th subscriber, I'll do something fun. Like, who knows? I'll have to come up with that. I think I'm going to put a little bit of the brown liner in his eyes, or maybe there's a blue liner. I've got a blue, a gray, a brown. I think, you know what? I think I'll go with the blue, because that blue might hold up with the green kind of cactusy kind of theme here. I'm just gonna drip those in there, and it's almost an ink. It's not quite a. It's not. The pigment in it is really heavy, and that's that. See the top of my bald head at some point, and And maybe that might work or it might not. I'll start with the blue, and then I might have to add a second coat if I don't get that out past his eyes. But if I do, it's still wet enough, I can just, you know, take my finger and just wipe it off there. He's got a little teardrop. We can, no, I'm not going to leave that. Let's do this. Touch that up a little bit. I think that looks okay. I'll add a little bit, and I'm going to let this dry, and I keep seeing spots where it has not quite, if there was a little bit of a water bubble or something in there. I think I got all the spots. Don't want to see any white poking through. This also, I for the longest time I painted with, I primed everything in black and just did layers and layers and layers and layers, but then I got really impatient doing that. And so I said, you know what, I have seen this man, this James Wapple, who's a phenomenal painter. If you haven't seen any of his work, check it out. I'll try to post some links in the description for this stuff. He's that kind of, just, he's a good dude, and he paints like some sort of crazy wizard. So, okay, I am going to pause this and I will be right back. Okay, we're back. I've got this kind of dried out a little bit, enough so I won't rub it off when I'm painting beside it. I've got the heather blue and the ashen blue. These are part of this blue kind of triad. I'm going to do the, actually, I think I'll do the heather blue first to do that kind of as a base coat, and then I've got the ashen blue for the dry brush to do that. And then I'm going to go, I think I'm going to grab, that looked pretty close. Mist green, we'll give that a shot on one of the arms. And then we've got, what I've been doing, a thing I've been doing, because I don't highlight a whole lot. So what I've been doing is I've been kind of cheating. I've been using this polished bone that I've had forever, as you can tell. And just, oh, there we go. I'm gonna get this over here in the middle. And then just super, super dry brushing. I think I've mentioned these brushes before, these e.l.f. brushes. You can get at like Kohl's or any sort of, any place where they sell makeup and stuff. They're like $1 a piece, and they're so dense. You can load these, not load them up, but you'll get enough paint on there to dry brush and just barely go over everything. And it'll give you enough of a, it's not really white, but it's light enough that it gives you kind of a nice little highlight to your stuff. So I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with the ashen, I know the heather blue, that's right. I don't even remember what I'm saying about my own stuff, so, but I'm gonna do what I was doing before and just kind of sit here, and like I said, I'll do a quick base coat and put him in jeans. I think that's what they've got him in here. They've got kind of a darker denim, but I think he's a tough cactus guy. He'd be wearing nice denim pants, denim jeans to keep up with the rigors of the Rumbleslam wrestling ring. I might even, see, I might do a little bit of lining later as well. But as you can see, kind of water this down about the opacity of milk. I mean, it's a light enough. It's a little bit runny, but that's me. I'll say one thing and do another. So I'll do this and kind of get this on there. I might not even need to go over this with a lighter blue, because this is kind of turning out how I want it. What I might do is I might go around the cuffs with that lighter blue and then just kind of do it that way. And this is for, like I said, we'll be doing more Rumbleslam, not tutorials, but kind of, we're learning this game gradually, and I like it because A, there's a lot of pictures in the instruction manual, or the rule book, and it's a short rule book. It's not meant to be, you know, I don't think you really, when you play a game like this, or like Burrows and Badgers or something, I don't think it's necessarily meant to be ridiculously competitive. It's more for casual gaming. I'm sure they have tournaments and stuff, Rumbleslam tournaments, which I think would be a absolute hoot, because if you've gone on TTCombat's website, or if you go to the Facebook, the Rumbleslam Fanatics Facebook group, there's people doing really interesting stuff with some of the colors and some of the paint schemes for some of these, and I really dig it. It's a really nice, you know, it's not a real, there's not a whole lot of trolls that I've seen on that Facebook group, and that's what really makes it for me, because it's a, you know, everybody, you, me, and everyone in between has had kind of a rough time over the last several months, dare I say years. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna go with, I think I actually might, I was thinking of a rust brown kind of color for that shirt, and then go over it with a darker brown, but I think actually I'm going to go something like this. This is one of the secret weapons. They had their, they had a line of paint that was all, here's brown rust, red rust, this is yellow rust, I think there's a dark red rust, there's a rust shadow and an old rust and stuff like that. I'm going to wipe that up so I don't, make sure, try not to get it on my pants, my nice lounging trousers. And I'm going to go with this, and then I'll let that dry and maybe see how that looks. And also I'm going to get a, something that might be a stained ivory might be a good look for that, the wanted poster, like I said, that I might try to write something on there, but I also might just say, you know what, I'm going to print off a tiny wanted poster and call it good, because if I was to do that, I think it actually might look better. I mean, or it might look better, you know, saying, oh, well, somebody tried to really, you know, Peyote Pete here might have tried to draw his own little picture on there. But I like a nice clean look to something like that, so people can go, oh, that's very amusing. And I'm going to let this dry. This might take a little bit longer, or I might let this sit a little longer. I think I'm still running 17 minutes, sure, about 18 minutes. Like I said, this will be a really quick tutorial, and I might, because he doesn't have a whole lot of detail. I mean, he's a very cartoony character. This again, this Pinyama is going to be bananas, because it's very colorful. And well, the same with the Kalaka Kabbalah, the whole wrestling team. It's something I've never done, that much color on an anything, quite frankly. And it's stepping outside my comfort zone, and I really I've been doing this for quite a number of years, and some of you know, and some of you don't, and I'm not going to reveal, you know, being a man of a certain age. It's my prerogative to be coy when it comes to talking about that. So I'm going to do this, and we'll see. I might, I'm not a big fan of trying to paint plaid. I've tried painting, I've done, there's been tutorials, the guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy who paints the models for Burrows and Badgers, which, oh boy, if you haven't seen that game or haven't played that game, go look it up. They are, Oathsworn Minis is the company, and that game it's anthropomorphic. It's like a light, the game mechanics are, darn it, are kind of a light, they use different die types for the different skills. So it's a little bit like if the Savage Worlds role-playing system was put on an anthropomorphic, not medieval, but a late, I can't even think, it wouldn't be Edwardian, because they have black powder firearms, so you can figure out what kind of time that would be. But the minis are gorgeous. They're all one piece. They're all metal. They're all made by that company, and they're I can't say enough good things about it. They just had another Kickstarter where they did Undead, and they did kind of a the Spanish Inquisition-y kind of zealots, I guess you would call them. And I got to get back to painting those guys because they're such, again, they're half the battle in anything is just the sculpt. I'm not a painter that can make a terrible sculpt look good. I like, boy, this is going to be really quick. I do kind of like that. I'll tell you what, I will let this dry. I'm going to do his armbands. They've got them as kind of a red, which would be kind of fun. That's a spot of color to put on there. Let's go with the Carnage Red. A very red, or more of a, let's go with the, here we go. Let's go with a lighter. This is the Carrot Top Red. It's a little bit more orange than red, but it also is going to be, if I want to, once it's dry, maybe wash over it. Like I said, his face is done because he's got little tiny beard bristles here. I don't know how well that shows up. But it's just I just make myself laugh. It's such a good little miniature. I really enjoy it. And we're going to probably be doing some like Royal Rumbles where we just have all the MVPs for Rumbleslam and just, yeah, let's do a million dosh head-to-head kind of thing where I will probably get soundly thrashed as I am wont to do on those games. Even when I try different tactics, it's like, hey, guess what? Your dice karma is nil, and just enjoy the catastrophe. That's boy. If you learn nothing else from painting this painting video, there's your pull quote. Put that on a t-shirt. Enjoy the catastrophe. And I've got a little bit of, I have to go over that with a little bit of a green wash because it's kind of spilled over onto the, I might do a little lining there. But I also missed a little bit the yellow underneath that collar, which might, I think, and there's some under there, and there's some under there. I really like, if you don't have, oh, I can't find it, but there are all sorts of different handles you can find for if you've got like carpal tunnel or stuff like that. This I learned from Kat Jackson. I just use these, and I've got washers in it to kind of help balance it out, because otherwise it's a little bit chunky. And I got some wet paint in that. That's not great. I'm not happy with that. Let's see if I can get that. Oh, that's just on the thing itself. I think I wasn't quite as sharp as I wanted to be with keeping all the spots separate. I think everything else looks good. I need a little bit there, a little bit there. But there's your base colors. So I'm calling this guy, you know, I'll say 65% done. So it's going to be probably, I'll be picking out the beard, and I'll be lining and doing some dry brushing on this. And this is going to be really quick. I will pause and let this dry a little bit, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I think we've got it pretty well. Not cured, but it's dry, and there's no wet paint. From what I can see. I am going to grab a little bit darker. I'm gonna go ahead and line the creases of the clothes on the cactus, and then I will do a little bit of that with this kind of darker, more of an olive. Again, this is one of the base colors that, you know, who knows what it's called now, but it's a little bit, it's like a dark olive kind of color on that. They've got their Olive Triad, which is a really good, if you're looking for anything that's got like a good tree color. Olive Shadow is a kind of, it's a grayish, it's like a dark gray and a green kind of color, because, you know, if you look at actual trees in real life, they're not brown or green. They're kind of that like a heavy, like a gray almost. I'm going to see if I can shove these out of the way. Let's do a little bit of this. Or, you know what? Let's let this sit a bit. I'm going to try doing some dry brushing with this. I'm not going to use the bigger, those elf brushes. I'm going to use this and just kind of go a little bit. See if I've got, I am out of, oh, darn it. I'm out of paper towels in my house. So what I'm going to do, I've got a little towel here on my lap so I don't get my nice, you know, lounging pants soiled. I'm going to just dry brush that over this a little bit and see if it even makes a difference. Yeah, I think that worked out rather well, actually. Well, you can see it, but it kind of smooths out the lines of the cactus and the way they're, especially here on the ends where I kind of got a little bit more paint. I'll go underneath here, and like I said, this is just kind of dry brushing it over the, and that actually, let's see if that covers up the, no, not quite. I was going to see if it covered up where I kind of missed over the, when I missed over on the armbands, I kind of overshot a little bit. But now that works for that. For the arm, for the shirt, I'd really like to try something different on that shirt. You know what? Hey, we'll all try this together, and you can learn from my mistakes. If nothing else, you know, enjoy the catastrophe and learn from my mistakes are the two things you can take away from this tutorial. So I'm going to go getting a little bit more. As I get closer to the end, sometimes I have a tendency to rush. That's also why on some of my minis I paint, if I have a face, I'll paint that first, because that's kind of, as you know, as certain biological entities, faces are the first things we look at. So that's also kind of the first thing you notice in a mini. If it's not, you know, some horrible, awful monster, if it's a humanoid, you will look at the face. You check the eyes and check them out, check the face, you know. Let's see, I think that's pretty good. I think I'm going to leave the pant. Oh, that could use a little bit of, I could pick up some highlights on that. I'm going to use that ash and blue and kind of dry brush over that real quick. And maybe not do any lining of that at all, because it's actually not too noticeable once I kind of get close at it. And I'm not painting this for competition by any stretch of the imagination. But for those of you who do, there's, boy, you know, more power to you. If you've got the tenacity, I need to go a step lighter with that. So I'm going to mix a little bit of, again, this is one of the base colors. It's like it's a very, very bluish white. I'm going to mix that with this so it's not too ridiculously white and it goes completely off the charts as far as that goes. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of that to this and see if I can up that highlight a bit. Maybe a little more. Try that down here on the edge. Yeah, actually, yep, that's kind of working. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's actually, I may just go full 1 and 1 of each and kind of go. And when you're dry brushing, you always go against the grain of what you're painting, so you don't get the light color down in the back. See this, you know. Does this even need to be done? I'm going to do it just to show you that it doesn't. There's a little bit now, of course. I kind of messed that up a little bit. But this is the kind of thing you can get when you've got a good sculpt. You know, and I'm not gonna badmouth contrast paints because they're fine. If it gets people painting their stuff quicker and better and they like it more, you know, more power to them. I'm just saying it's not a unique style. So, you know what? I don't mind this at all. This is I think I'm gonna go with a little bit more around the where the strings would be coming out on his pants down here on these little cutoffs. Or, yeah, they look like they're cutoffs because they're kind of raggedy. They're not really cuffed unless his cactus prickles have kind of pulled them off there. It's not too bad. I think I'm way over on this side. I think I keep sliding over. So I'm gonna do this. You know what? I've got this green right here that I just used for that highlight. I'm gonna add a little bit to this, to that. And maybe do a little bit of top, like on the tops here, like where there would be a light coming down on them. I'm not going to get into theory and all that stuff because there's a whole lot of other people that are better than I that can explain how, you know, source lighting and stuff like that goes. But I'm going to go. That wasn't. Thing about dry brush, brush needs to be dry and not partially wet. There we go. It's a little bit better. I don't know if you can hear the commercials in the background, but I'm sure if you can, that's they're free advertising for whatever the heck they're advertising. It's just more noise in the background when I'm sitting painting and I'm not listening to riff tracks or something like that, because that's a good... It's something I've watched 1,000 times, and it's just like talking to old friends while you're painting. You know what? I think this turned out okay. I think this is going to be all right. Yeah, let's do that. So, the more I look at that, the more I kind of like just that yellow shirt. Do I dare? You know what? Let's. I think I'm going to do a little bit of lining around that, the arms off that shirt, because that yellow is a little bit intrusive into the, it kind of bled into there. I don't think I... By the way, kids, don't lick your paintbrushes. No one does that. No one who ever does any painting ever licks their paintbrush, he said, tongue firmly in cheek. Let's see, this is the one. I'm going to shout out to the Rosemary and Company Series 33 brushes that I like a lot. Yeah, that'll do. Got a little bit of darkness around that to kind of cover that up. I think I might add a little more water to it. It's a little... Where do I want to go with this? Yeah, I think I'll do that. Go along here and let that kind of run in along there. And that's not too bad on the bottom. Again, you know, I don't paint for competition because I just don't care that much, quite frankly. But I do like painting. It's a nice little Zen exercise. I mean, just sitting here and doing this sort of thing. If I'm talking to you guys, or if I'm talking to the lovely co-host Ellie, she's a good person to sit and talk to, and anybody is a good person to sit and talk to. Or you can listen to music. There's people who do that. There's people who, you know, there's all sorts of different ways to sit and paint. You can get all Bob Ross and talk real close to the microphone, but I don't have that sort of vocal timbre. Ducking under there, where there'd be like a nice little shadow underneath his shirt. Get up in the, I gotta get a dry brush over that. There was some green that I got on that didn't settle the way I wanted it to. I have to get my water in this. Let's go. There's some white spots that I missed underneath those legs. I got too much water in that. There's a spot there. Some little white spots. I'll go with that across the bottom of that. I went ahead and glued this to the to the base because, you know, it's more of a personal preference. Me, I'm just kind of, I like having a base. I mean, the clear bases are really neat if you want to get kind of a, you know, you want to get a little bit more into the, oh, these are actual little wrestlers that are on the thing, but also quite frankly, it's kind of a pain in the neck. Because some of these, I mean, these have, oh boy, these have really good sprues to hold on to. So these I won't need to glue them on the thing. But this guy had one little stub, and I said, you know what, just sod it. I'm gonna put this on there. So what else do we got? We've got, oh boy, I need to do a little bit of, that was that orange, wasn't it? Let's go with this tanned leather. That would be kind of a nice highlight for that. I think I'm not going to try to paint plaid on this. I'm just going to give him a nice yellow shirt. And because I'm kind of afraid of ruining what I've done. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go, wow, this is an old, I think, I don't know how that's going to look. That's a little bit too, well, you know what, let's just see. No, that's about the same color. So, let's go with golden blonde. That's a little bit lighter. I'm going to pause this while I shake this up. Okay, I think I've got this nice and shook up. There's the green. There we go. Now we're back in the middle of the thing. Middle of the frame. Professional at all times. And you get what you pay for, so please see the bursar for a refund if you need some sort of compensation from my silliness and my lack of again, no one has volunteered to be an engineer for me, so I put out the call periodically on our battle reports and stuff, and come on, you guys, step up. Someone's got to be around here who can show me how to do things right. Or, just, hit me up. Or leave some comments. Constructive criticisms are always appreciated. Not, it's always nice. It's nice to hear feedback from people. It's, I mean, it's not, because, something like this, it's not, oh, get on there. It's like, well, what are you doing? Why are you stink. Everything you do is terrible and you're awful. It's like, well, if I knew who you were and cared about what you thought, I might take that personally, but, nice and anonymous internet posts are, take them with a grain of salt. This is not exactly what I wanted it to do, but it is. Again, this would have been better if I had been paying attention and when I was doing the initial paint, where I got this nice big dollop of green there under his arm. Not so much because you're not going to see it, but that one right on the neck is a little bit problematic. So I'm going to go a little more. I'm just going to make this, nice worn. See if I can. Keep that going. With this, with that, and I have to turn down the Godzilla versus Megalon that's going on in the background, or people are going to wonder what exactly is going on in this place. You know what? I like this just as it is. I'm going to see if this yellow will actually show up as kind of a highlight as well, because it's bright enough that you know what? I'm gonna call that good. I am gonna try to make a little wanted poster on here, and we'll see how well I can hold my breath and write in tiny font. Or what else we could do? Let's see if I have a pencil sharp enough, and just write it on there and then go over it, so that way if I mess it up. Let's do that. If I mess it up, I can always go back and I can just erase it. I'm going to try to sharpen this a little bit. A little bit of 150 grit. Get this to a really sharp point. Because I think any pencils I have are probably elsewhere, and you know, I could pause stuff, but why do that now? Just because I'm writing wanted on his shirt. And let's see what that looked like. Just literally wanted, dead or alive. Hopefully, let's see. Get that in there. All right. Start big and then just get smaller and smaller and smaller as we go. So how about starting out small and just doing that. Let's see if I'm at a loss. What I might do while I'm pontificating that is I am going to get some little, like a light gray to kind of do his little prickles around his mouth that is supposed to look like kind of a beard from what it looks like to me. He's got a little shadow around his kind of turning my brush on the side and just kind of just lightly dry brushing that on there, since cactus spines are that kind of color. I don't want to lick this because I don't want to get it too much on there. I might just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. If I actually took time and went through and painted each one, I'm sure that would be a lot easier, which I can kind of do. Doing this, and just a little bit of spots here and there and everywhere. So I might have to go in after the fact and do a green wash over this. Maybe I'm going to do a little bit of bright or a little bit lighter on that. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's go with, it's roughly the same. It's like a darker, oh, this is olive skin. It's that kind of, it's a little bit, I'm going to go in here and just write it on here because we're not looking for perfection, are we? He said, looking for confirmation from the audience. So we've got 43 minutes. Yeah, this will be about right. I'm going to try to get in here and just write as small as I can. Again, nice sharp point. Get yourself some Kolinsky sable brushes. They're pretty great. I'm going to go with this and see just how small I can write a wanted poster. Let's see if that point is just enough to go almost there. If I had printer ink, you know what, there, that's close enough. I'm gonna go with that, and then I'm just gonna go around like this, and then I'm gonna paint just a little like that part of it got torn off. And I'm just going to take the cacturn, gosh, what were they called? Not the cacticay. What did I say these guys were? Cactus people. The cactuar. I am literally just going to paint a little stick figure of that guy. And all right, 100 billion double dollars. Thank you for all you people who like your anime Vash the Stampede things. References. This there and just kind of go. And then down and over. This is pretty terrible, but you know what? Again, you're getting what you're paying for. So I'm going to try to get in there and get a little bit of that corrected just a bit. I'm going to do that a little bit and kind of lighten this up. And then let's go with, what would be a nice crayon? Let's go with, hey, how about the color that I used for his armbands? And I'll just do the hugs, please, on there. Free hugs. Let's do that, because I could write that on here just to cover up what I've kind of butchered here. Let's go. If you hear a corgi whining in the background, that's exactly what it is. Along with the kaiju noises, if it's there. Oh, darn it. Okay, let's go with this. This is not the greatest, but then he doesn't have fingers, so I'd say this is going to be as good as he could write. There. I'm going to call this guy pretty much done. I'm going to get a little bit of, I'm going to get some nails. Let's get this nice silver and put on that. And let's see. Again, scale color, really, 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 really good metallics. Unless they dry up in the nose of your paintbrush, paint bottle. There we go. Okay. Make sure, here's something that, here's a free lesson from this, that, you know, enjoy the catastrophe, you get what you pay for, and have two different water glasses, metallics, non-metallics, because metallics have little bits of stuff in them, and you don't want little bits of metallic stuff in your flesh tones. But of course, you could also just, you know, empty out your glasses as you're painting, or you could be like me and really just want to sit down, and I don't want to have to get up and do a whole lot of extra stuff. Give him a nice silver button on his trousers. There you go. It's Peyote Pete. I'm going to go in. I'm going to touch this stuff up, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. I went back and got some of the base color that I initially did on the that kind of shaded base coat. I'm just going around and redoing the stuff that I kind of overshot a little bit. And I'm going to see, let's go with a little bit like that there and kind of dry brush up that thing. And under here, there's arms and that shirt. Yeah, you know what? I like that shirt the way it is. You know what? And it's, you paint for yourself. If that, you know, enjoy the catastrophe, etc., 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 and paint for yourself. You can take tips from other people, but I like this guy. I'm anxious to use him. Peyote Pete, TTCombat, Rumbleslam, And this is John Jack from Cripple Fox Gaming. Thanks for staying. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget. I like doing this stuff for you. I hope you like watching it. Talk to you later. Thanks.